Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Cabral Concept. Happy to be with you here today and looking forward to getting into our Friday review. So much to recap from the past week, a lot of new research to bring you. And of course, we're going over your own functional medicine lab reading of the week. So I want to dive right into it today because I really do have a lot of information. I'm just fresh off my trip from California, from San Diego. Nice little 6-hour trip there, 6-hour trip back. I got to speak and meet a lot of great people, so that was incredible. Really happy about that, and this officially now marks the end of my travel season for speaking and doing interviews and all of those great things. Take some time off in March, coming up with my family for my girls' school vacation, and always excited about that as well. So it's great. It's great for the family. It's great for me. It's great for, I think, my team too, because, of course, we're always trying to push the limit, see what we can do for you and this functional medicine community as a whole. So one of the things that I want to start with just today, and a little bit of recap of what's going on, is that we're always excited about your feedback. One thing we did about 3 months ago is that inside of CabralSupportGroup.com, that's our private Facebook group, we asked everybody, hey, what do you think about us doing a flavored greens and reds based powder? Because we have our daily fruit and vegetable blend right now, and it's an unflavored. We've had that now for about 2 years. Incredible product, absolutely one of our best sellers. And it has gram for gram more greens and reds in it than any other product. And we put that right in the bottle. So ours is 9 grams. So there's a lot of people out there that will use inulin and grasses and things with a lot of weight to add more bulk to their powder. Remember, these are all things that I put in my own body, so I want these things just pure. So it's literally juicing the fruit and vegetables as well as the superfoods such as the blue-green algae, the chlorella, the gluten-free wheatgrass, all of those items. And you only get the nutrition. You get the micronutrients from there, very little of anything else. So it's absolutely fantastic. I use it every morning. I've been using it every morning for years now, before you even sold it or offered it at Equilibrium Nutrition. What I know, though, is that some people want that flavored version, and we just came out with it, and it was all of you, our community, that named it. So I gave you basically 4 names that our team came up with, and you guys chose it, and you chose Crisp Apple. It is absolutely delicious. It's absolutely fantastic. It gets its sweetener, not from artificial sweeteners, but from stevia. It really is. It's a non-GMO product. It's organic. It's all the things that you know we want to provide you. That is coming out. We're doing the pre-sale, the pre-launch of that starting today. It is a super limited quantity, so I just want you to know that. Because, again, like we've used it in focus groups. We want your feedback. We're about that principle of Kaizen, right? We're always trying to improve, always trying to get better. And I think that you've seen that over the past 2 years, and we have so much more to come as well. So check that out at equilibriumnutrition.com. Super limited supply. It is a buy 2, get 1 free, literally saving you $69.95. So you can stock up on it. You can get it for other people. You can go in together as a group of people, but you will save yourself essentially $70, and it comes with free shipping in the US. Now, we do ship them over the seas as well. We ship now to 19 countries. I'm going to be giving you an update on Australia in about 2-3 weeks. Pretty incredible what you're seeing right now. I'll talk about it in the future, but you are not seeing those taxes on labs and a lot of other things, saving you hundreds of dollars. And we give you the upfront costs because now it's harmonized in the system. So we have it really down to a science now. I have an incredible team working on that. So check that out if you are interested in ordering the very first batch of our daily fruit and vegetable blend, the Crisp Apple, the one that I use during my workouts now, unflavored I use in the morning. You can check that out over at equilibriumnutrition.com. And those are shipping out within about 2.5 weeks of order, the week of March 17th. Check that out. It's also a buy 2, get 1 free on the unflavored as well, if you're someone that loves the unflavored too, which I do, and obviously I still use it. thank you again for your support of that. Thank you again for really your feedback. We love doing these types of things. The next thing I want to mention is this. The Integrative Health Practitioner Program is opening again for just 100 spots like we do each, well, it's not every month, but it's almost every month, somewhere around every 4 to 8 weeks. And I'm excited because, as always, we've had incredible people come in over the past month. And the best part is that our already group of integrative health practitioners are really welcoming. They really welcome in the new people. And the majority of those people are first time really getting into a health-based coaching certification, or you might just be doing the course because we offer two things. The course is for those people looking to heal themselves, heal others, within the family. And then there are those who want to take this to either a part-time or full-time career. And we offer that as well. And then, of course, we have lots of other people that are already health coaches and practitioners and dietitians, and they want to learn a more integrative health practice. So if you're interested, if this sounds like it would be of interest to you, you can head on over to integrativehealthpractitioner.org. Just click on the Get Notified button at the top. Every month or every time we've opened, literally all 100 spots have been gone, anywhere from 24 hours to 72 hours, typically maximum. And that's it. Once we close, I know people want to get in, but that's it. We close. And that's simply because it's not that we don't want to let more people in, but I'm just really big on customer experience and customer service. You can ask anyone on my team that. It's all I talk about at every single meeting. I don't know all the technical stuff of the ins and outs of payments and processing and web pages and all of that. What I know about is trying to create a great customer service experience. I've been doing this a long time, and my team and I have, we've seen now close to 300,000 people. So that's all I want. I want it to be great for you. I want it to be unlike anything you've ever done before. So if you're interested, check that out at integrativehealthpractitioner.org. Always really excited to open that each and every month. All right, the next thing I want to go over, well, why don't I give the Dreamcast podcast, a little plug here, because Denise Walsh had me on just about 10 days ago, and I don't know that I mentioned this podcast interview. And everyone that has me on, I'm totally grateful to you, and I appreciate you trying to help me spread this message of integrative health, of true health, whether it be from a bioregulatory standpoint, naturopathic, traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, orthomolecular medicine, Eastern-based philosophy. We try to include it all, the best of everything, so that who wins? Well, the person that should win, and that is your patient or wellness client. It should not be about us. We have to stop making about how we are this, amazing practitioner, which I have no doubt that you are. But at the end of the day, it's, did we get the person who came to us the results that they want? And I want to do that in any means possible. So thank you, Denise. Appreciate you having me on the show. It was a great time. If you want to listen to that podcast, head on over to stephencabral.com/1120. stephencabral.com/1120. That will be where all of the show notes links are for today. I'll link up IHP. I'll link up the Daily Fruit and Vegetable Blend, 22 organic superfoods in that. And then I will link up Denise's podcast there as well. All right, before we get to the research, which I can't wait to bring you, and the lab, which we need to talk about, I want to go over a product that I will be using for many years to come. So you know that I travel quite a bit. I love traveling. Well, I don't love traveling. I actually don't love the airport and flying process. I have no enjoyment with that whatsoever. I really do not. I mean, furthest thing from it. And I try to mitigate it as best I can, like with the food and with the rest and not waking up super early. But at the end of the day, I'm just not a huge fan. And I know TSA, you're trying to do your best, but it's not the most pleasant experience. That's just the way that it is. And so here's the thing. I try to make it as easy as possible. I try to pack light. I try to bring my food. But inevitably, it's clunky. It's a big mess. Well, here's one thing that I found. I actually got recommended this by a friend, and I said, okay, I'm open. I'm going to try it out. I'm someone that loves gear and loves like all the things that, whether it's sports or exercise or travel, I love the gear. And someone recommended me the Nomatic travel pack. I don't know that if you've ever heard of Nomatic, but it's Nomatic. Nomatic travel pack. They actually have 3 different sizes of the backpack. They have the 20 liter. They have the 2030, which is the one that I got. That's the travel pack. That's the in-between. And then they have the larger one, which I believe is 40 liters. So what I want to do is give you a little demo of the one that I have right now. So why am I talking about basically a backpack or travel pack? Well, here's the thing. If you are a personal trainer, if you're someone in podcasting, if you're someone that has to travel quite a bit, and you're looking for, how do I have a bag where I don't just throw everything in it, which is what I used to do. I had this very lightweight travel backpack on top of my little duffel. I never check bags, ever. Like I could be going on a 10-day trip and I'd never check a bag. I'll get everything jammed in that suitcase because I just don't want to take any more time at the airport or worry about them losing my bag. I've lost one bag before, luggage, when I was traveling to Europe. It was a mess. So I have my small little duffel, but I have this backpack, and this backpack can also be used for a lot of people in podcasting, which I want to share with you right now, and the fitness industry, or you're a teacher, you're anyone that has to travel a little bit of gear or bring a little bit of gear. And it's broken up perfectly into 3 main compartments. The front compartment it has multiple zippers. I'm going to link up a video for you, by the way, but it has 4 elastic pockets for like easy grab and go. You can put your wallet in there, your passport in there. I put my headphones in there. Then I have my airplane headphones, just like the small little earbuds, because of course, regular headphones don't work on a plane, as well. It comes with its own separate TSA travel lock. It comes with a hard-cased sunglass container that also then goes in this specialty pouch right at the side of the bag. So you can actually pop your sunglasses in this little pre-made square container so they won't get crushed and broken. Then in the big part in the back, it has another 2 zippers. You can put toiletries, all of those other items. And then a mesh part in the back where you can roll up your clothes. You can put in a pair of shoes. And then a big zipper part in the back, which I really liked as well because it's a padded spot to put your laptop, which you can easily pull out for TSA. Remember I mentioned that TSA experience where I had to pull out all of my equipment. Now, it's a little bit more challenging for me as well. Picture this. If you're ever behind me in TSA, it's not the best place to be. I have to pull out my podcast microphone, my podcast recorder, my laptop, and then I have to pull out my food because you have to literally lay your food flat because if they see it in your bag, they don't know what it is. With all of this technology, they still don't know what it is. But anyway, I'm pulling out my laptop, this big case for my podcast recorder, and then my podcast microphone so they can see all the stuff. And then, of course, everyone always asks me, like without fail, if I'm a karaoke singer. Who in the world takes karaoke that serious? I still have not figured that out. But every single time, it's like the ongoing joke. And I'm like, do I look like a karaoke singer? I don't understand like if this face looks like that, but apparently it does. So anyway, this travel bag, just a couple more notes about this. It has a top pouch, which I really like, that you can put your cell phone in, or you can actually put in any device that you need to charge because there's an easy through cord hole that you can then, whether you have a charger in your bag or whether you just plug it in the outlet next to you, or maybe even a plane, that works great. Couple more things I like that I just wanted to bring you because when it comes to gear, a total geek on these things, is that the side water bottle pouches actually lay flat. So everything is beautifully designed and closed. They're magnetic. So when you don't have a water bottle in there, it just snaps shut. But the best part of the Nomatic travel bag, 2 things. Okay, one is that you can lay it over flat on a duffel, like on one of those pull bags. I don't even know what you call those, but basically the travel ones that you don't have to check. And what do I mean by that? You pull it on its side and you slip it down the handle. I don't know if you've ever done this before, but you try to wrap your backpack around the handle and it then ends up spinning around and then falling on the floor and you're trying to like pull it all together. Well, that's typically my life. So this one actually lays flat. The other thing is that this bag is meant for 2 to 3 days of travel. You can literally put everything in just this bag if you want. And I had about 20 pounds of gear in it because I have my laptop, I got my recorders, I've got all sneakers in there because I like to go to the gym when I'm here, but I also bring shoes for when I'm in my dress clothes for speaking. And it was I would say it was 16 to 18, maybe 20 pounds of gear in there. You can wear this bag and it evenly displaces the weight, which means it doesn't pull on your neck and your traps and make you all locked up and tight, especially at 5 o'clock in the morning when I'm taking off for the airport. So just a huge fan. I thought that you might find this helpful if you're someone that, brings a lot of gear with you on a daily basis and you just, like to wear a backpack. If you walk around the city like I do, super easy. Or if you're someone that travels and you might only need this one bag, if you're just traveling for 2 days or so, you can kind of roll everything up. really great. I'm going to link it up. I'll link up a video as well. But I just love bringing you some of my favorite things. And for sure, this is going to be one of my favorites for travel for many years to come. And the other part that I love to it is, yes, it's expensive, but it comes with a lifetime warranty. So you're really not going to need another backpack, or this is way more than a backpack, or travel bag. Again, if it breaks, they have a 100% satisfaction guarantee, lifetime warranty. And they even do, I just looked this up on the website because it is on the more expensive side, but again, worth it, my opinion. They have a 4-payment plan, which is kind of cool. All right, that's that with that. I can get off my gear excitement here. And I want to share with you a couple different notes that you should be aware of. One is that as of this year, 2019, the FDA actually did something that's helpful for us because they don't always do things that are helpful. A lot of times they're not as helpful, but here's what they did. They actually did some new labeling requirements, which I'm a fan of. Some people just like the FDA to be kind of out of their business, and I get that as well. But the problem I had was a lot of these beverages that you see, it says, it has 2.5 servings in it. But who only has a quarter or half a serving of a drink when they're out at, you go to Whole Foods or CVS or Rite Aid or any of these places? And that's all that you see in the bottle on the label. So people are like, it has 22 grams of sugar. That's not too bad. But if you really read the label, it says that's per serving, and they put 2.5 servings in this 12-ounce bottle. Who doesn't just drink all 12 ounces, right? So really, you're getting over 50 grams of sugar. So I like that the FDA is cracking down on that. Now, people who already bottled beverages, who knew this was coming, got to get away with the old labels. But you'll see it within at least the next couple months, a little bit more truth in labeling, and I'm all about truth in labeling. So I think that's a good thing for all of us. So you can read those labels, which I do recommend. Read your labels. How many grams of sugar in there, and not just per serving of what's your serving. If your serving is the full bottle, then you need to do the 2.5 or whatever the servings are. If it's 3, well, you're over 66 grams of sugar now. And I'm not exaggerating that. Like, that's a typical thing. You even see that for a lot of juices out there. We'll call them juices because they contain a lot of fruit in them. But you're looking at it and you say, okay, well, this is all natural. It comes from apples, this, and this. Yeah, but it took 5 apples to make that juice. No human eats 5 apples at a sitting, which is why eat your fruit, juice your veggies if you want to do that. It's a much better way. So love that. All right, one more research. That wasn't quite research, so I want to bring you a little bit of research today. And that was on a study that I'm not one of those people that tries to use scare tactics at all. I don't believe in it, but I believe in awareness. So a lot of women out there right now, a lot of questions I get, which is important, that we make sure their body is healthy when they're going to get pregnant and when they are pregnant and also when they're nursing. So they say like, oh, well, I'm trying to, not use this or do this or whatever it is. Your child's health comes from everything in your body and really nothing else. So you are making up your child's health. And I've said this before. I'm not a high mega dose supplement kind of guy, but I am a base dose. I'm a foundational dose supplement kind of guy. And the reason I am is we just see more and more studies showing it. So for example, this study was out of McGrath, and this is in Queensland in Australia, and it was out of their Brain Institute. If you're looking this study up, it was published in December of 2018, so just about 3 months ago or so. And it was published called Scientific Reports. Okay. So that's where this study came from. That's what it was written about. Okay. But it came from the Queensland Brain Institute. Looked at over 2,600 individuals, and then it looked back from those born from 1981 to 2000. So it's going back. I know that we're going back in this. And they said there are a variety of factors which could have caused schizophrenia later in life. So let's just think of it as more of a neurological and brain-based dis-ease of the body. And there are many things that it can account for it. Toxicity can account for it, heavy metal exposure, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But one thing they found is they're pretty sure, and again, I'll always tell you when it's like, hey, this is definitive, or they have really good evidence over, again, quite a bit of time on 2,600 individuals, that at least there is a cofactor that at least 8% of those people, that's the minimum, at least 80% of those schizophrenia-based cases came from a vitamin D deficiency. And what they found was that during the pregnancy of the mother, the child is getting all of their vitamin D from the mom. Now, a lot of us live in countries where our vitamin D levels are going to be low for at least 6 months of the year. And for most people, all 12 months of the year. Because you're simply not getting a tan because you've been told getting sun is bad for you. Now, getting a sunburn is bad for you, but getting sun is not. That's part of us as humans. We're meant to get it. Now, some people don't want to get it because of skin wrinkling and aging and all that. I understand that. But the problem is then you're not getting vitamin D. You don't get vitamin D just because the sun's out. That's not how these things work, but that's how the media would like us to believe it. So what we need to do is get our moms and get our wives and partners that are thinking about, and yourselves obviously, right? Thinking about getting pregnant, just to get your vitamin D levels checked. They need to be between 50 and 70. That's the magic number, okay? That is the magic number. We're looking to stay there. And if you need to, well, you're just going to supplement with a natural vitamin D3. And I'll link that up today at the show notes. Simply go to stephencabral.com/1120. Now, you can use any functional medicine brand in the world. That's it. You just want to make sure you're at the right dosage for you, okay? Super important. Take a look at that. These things matter. Take your daily nutritional support with your extra 400 micrograms of methylfolate, or take your functional medicine prenatal-based vitamin. Take a little bit more of your omega-3s. Take your daily fruit and vegetable blend if you want, or just take some more vitamin D. Like, get the essentials at least, which is going to give your body everything that it needs so that your child get everything that he or she needs as well. So hopefully that helps. And again, you can work with your local practitioner, or you can test your vitamin D levels online as well. You can even test your omega-3 levels, which we're going to talk about right now. So we've been talking a lot about omega-3s. We talked about them on Wednesday. I hope you checked out that show. It was the high omega-3 fish source list. That was episode 1118 just 2 days ago. Why am I bringing this up? Here's why. I'm going to be talking a lot more about inflammation in the future and how certain things that we can do can naturally help to regulate that. But here's what I want to talk about. People had questions. I want to provide answers. There is a number on the omega-3 test, and again, we'll link that up, but you can do it right at home. It's so simple, and it will let you know your risk for cardiovascular or heart attack. I mean, it's so important to look at. And what I want to say is this. There's a number on it that gets overlooked by a lot of practitioners as well, and I'll be teaching this in level 2 of IHP. But it's a line that just nobody hardly looks at, but it says this: AA over EPA. That's it. So it's your arachidonic acid. That's what AA stands for. And EPA is your highest, most inflammatory omega-3. So let's go over that just for a moment. Arachidonic acid, what is that? Well, we're looking at it as an omega-6. And we're looking at it as the most inflammatory or potentially greatest prostaglandin inflammation-inducing, free radical-causing response in the body. So we want to keep our arachidonic acid levels low. And we want to keep our EPA levels high. So we want higher levels of EPA and lower levels of arachidonic acid. We want those levels at least below an 8-to-1 ratio. Okay, that's our goal. So interesting though, because our other ratios should be at a 3-to-1. But let's look at this. A lot of people come back with a poor arachidonic acid to EPA level, and immediately they assume they're eating too many saturated fats or too many foods, fried foods, too many foods with arachidonic acid that are high in arachidonic acid. And that would be a really good assumption. However, what most people overlook is the fact that it's a ratio. And a lot of people that I work with, or at least I read their labs, is that they're not overeating on high omega-6 based foods, but they are undereating on their EPA, higher EPA containing foods. So that's why I went over that list on Wednesday, 1118, and I went over the importance of this because it's so simple to get into balance and into check that you can literally get it into balance within about 3 to 4 weeks. That's it. That's how easy it is, and then just maintain. But most of us don't read these labs. We've never been taught to read the labs. And they often get overlooked for a lot of other practitioners as well because there's so much data to read. How can you read it all in one appointment? So here's the thing. We look at the arachidonic acid. We look at the EPA. Now, if your ratio is high, you need to do a couple things. You need to look at your total EPA score. If your EPA score is above a 3, then you're good. It does mean then you're eating too many high omega-6 foods. And even if you think they're good for you, well, the data shows you that they're not. So we need to cut back on that, okay? Because your body doesn't do as great a job processing it. Maybe your friend does, okay? But that's not you. It's not your bodies. That's why we believe in bioindividuality, and we can lab test that. So now we take your omega-6 foods, the high ones, and we start to bring it down because your EPAs and your omega-3s are already good. But if your EPAs are low, like below a 3, then what we do is we simply increase your high EPA-based foods, omega-3 foods, or we add a nutritional supplement to your protocol, which is going to raise those levels for you. One that's already been tested to make sure that it's not high in mercury or heavy metals, and also one that's triglyceride bound, so it has a better absorption rate. Hopefully this is helpful. Remember, the reason I'm going over all of these little lab data points is to give you the power to take back control of your health through knowledge. The more you know, the more you're going to be able to say, okay, I know what this means, I get it, and here's what I can do about it. Because also our bodies aren't static, meaning that your levels could be great today or they were great 5 years ago, but what are they today or what will they be in 5 years? As long as we have a baseline number, and as long as you're eating pretty much the same nutrition day in and day out, week in and week out, then you can lab test when you're ready and just say, is how I'm eating right now and living conducive to great longevity and overall health? And lab tests will tell you that. So hopefully this has been helpful. Thank you so much for tuning in to another Cabral Concept. Truly appreciate all of your listens, all of your reviews, all of your downloads. So thank you for that. And be sure to tune in tomorrow for our house calls. We are going to be answering all of our community's questions there. So really excited about that. Tune in tomorrow and be sure to go to episode stevencabral.com/1120. That show note link for everything about IHP, the Nomatic Travel Pack, the Dreamcast podcast, the research I did on vitamin D, the omega-3s, the omega-3 lab test. Everything will always be right there. So thanks again. Take care, everyone. Have an amazing weekend.